Many people remember Rings of Akhaten because of Matt Smith's amazing performance as the Doctor, and him giving one of his most memorable speeches. But there's a beauty in this episode that I haven't seen many people talk about. For some context before I continue, Matt Smith's 11th Doctor had just recently lost Amy and Rory due to the Weeping Angels. Amy was the first person he ever saw when he regenerated, so losing Amy was a big deal for him. He spent the next two episodes grieving but gained a new companion called Clara Oswald. The Rings of Akhaten was perfectly placed in this season. It gave more depth to the new companion, someone who I personally had trouble getting to like, especially because Amy and Rory were my favorite companions, and still are. It also gave the Doctor the motivation he needed to continue living his life without Amy and Rory. The episode starts off with the Doctor watching a man get saved by a woman from a car. He was about to get hit by the car because of a leaf that coincidentally blew in his face. The intro gives a montage of the man and woman revealed to be the mother of Clara Oswald, the Doctor's new companion. It then showed that Clara's mom had died and she's left with only her dad. After the montage, the Doctor and Clara arrive at an alien planet where it's learned that the value isn't a meaningless piece of paper or a digital transaction. The currency on this planet is sentimental value, something that you hold close. That in itself is beautiful.
Not money. Something valuable. Sentimental value. A photograph, love letter, something like that.
After some exploring, Clara meets this girl who's running away from some guards and tells Clara that she is the Queen of Years. She's afraid of singing to the old god, so she ran away. Clara's plan is to take the Queen of Years and use the TARDIS to save her from her fear, but since she is the new companion, the Doctor locked the TARDIS.
I don't think it likes me.
They have a conversation, and this is one of the first times you're going to hear the reoccurring soundtrack. I'm going to call it the Wake Up motif, for no other reason than it sounds like the wake up part in the song later in the episode.
Can you pretend like I'm totally a space alien and explain?
I'm Mary Galel,
Really not local, sorry.
the Queen of Years. They chose me when I was a baby, the day the last Queen of Years died.
Okay.
As the Queen of Years tells Clara her story, Clara tells her a story about when she was a little kid. She had gotten lost, and it was one of the scariest moments when she was a kid. She said that her mom had told her,
Doesn't matter where you are, in the jungle or the desert or on the moon, because I will always be here and I will always come and find you.
It's important that she mentioned her mom had told her this, not her dad. Of course, she most likely loves both her parents, and that she would have appreciated the story if her dad was the one telling her. It just wouldn't give us as the viewer the substance that we need for the theme of this episode. It'd be kind of pointless. Her mom is the one who saved her dad, and her mom was the one who died later in her life. Her mom has a special place in her heart. After their heart-to-heart, the Queen of Years is willing to face her fears and goes with the guards trying to find her. When she's with them, she starts to sing to the god. After her singing, the Doctor realizes that something bad is happening. The planet starts to shake and the Queen of Years is taken to the pyramid on the floating rock. The old god wakes up and the Doctor says he's feeding off stories. After the Doctor and Clara fight off the old gods and his guards, an energy beam is taken to the planet in front of them. What seems to be the old god is taken down, but the Doctor notices that the old god is something else entirely. The old god is basically a whole planet. Clara and the Queen of Years goes back to the Rings of Akhaten planet while the Doctor stays on the rock, facing the old god. The Queen of Years starts to sing the long song, or as I like to call it, the wake up song. This is when one of Matt Smith's best moments occur. He says he is going to tell the old god a story. The Doctor praises the people of the Rings of Akhaten, saying their ancestors and their stories are devoted to the god, and now they are all singing in defense of themselves so they don't have to listen to the god anymore. The Doctor talks down to the god, or as he calls it, the parasite. He feeds on their entire story. Then the Doctor says to take his memories because he's lived a long life and has seen many things. The Doctor's story is too overwhelming for the god. The speech is bittersweet. It's an amazing monologue, beautifully performed. but what he is saying isn't completely positive. His speech is hopeful, but also feels like he is alone.
On them, on the memory of love and loss and birth and death and joy and sorrow. Because I have lived a long life.
He's lived a long life.
Things you wouldn't believe. I have lost things you will never understand.
Everyone stops singing and the god seems to be taken down, but Clara and everyone else sees that it isn't destroyed, not yet. Then a flashback to Clara's mother is seen, saying she will always be there for her.
And I will always come and find you.
Clara heads back to where the doctor is and she's about to give what I think is one of my favorite lines from her. She shows the god a leaf and says it's the most important leaf in human history. It's the leaf that fell on her dad. It's the leaf that created Clara because without it, her mom would have never met her dad. The leaf is full of an entire story. She offers her currency to the god. With the help of the doctor and Clara's memories, they take down the god. Then the doctor says it's because his memories are mostly in the past, the what was, and now the leaf represents Clara's what should have been.
Because there's quite a difference, isn't there, between what was and what should have been.
Again, here, when the god takes the leaf, we can hear the wake up motif once more. The episode ends on a high, being that they both saved an entire planet. The Rings of Akhaten isn't the run-of-the-mill Doctor Who episode. It's a story that the showrunner, writers, and actors should be proud of. It's an excellent tale on how important a singular human life can hold, and that coincidences are miracles. The beautiful score of the wake-up motif throughout the episode when Clara is talking about the past, about her mother, is a beautiful reminder of how important a memory is. The episode opens with this world having not regular currency. They have to pay stuff in value of a memory or a story. Looking at the surface level, you might think it's Doctor Who trying to differentiate our world from the alien world. That's what I thought. And it's only near the end that you finally understand the theme of this episode. I hold this episode in high regards because even though it didn't have the most action or the most twists and turns, it was a beautiful story and proved that Doctor Who doesn't always need fighting or intricate stories. The Doctor's speech, especially this close to losing Amy and Rory, was beautifully written and performed, saying that he has lost things, thinking that Amy and Rory are part of the things he had lost, reminding us that in this episode, the value of sentiment overcomes everything.